Welcome. This is AUSA Spouse, Voice for a Simpler PCS. It's a live series from the family programs at AUSA designed to give you tips for your relocation, for your move, to pack into your toolkit. And it occurs the Thursdays in June. My name is Christi Ham. I'm the chair of Military Families for High Standards, an initiative of the Collaborative for Student Success. I am really delighted to be here today and share some valuable information with you to maintain the quality of your child's education as you transition post to post, base to base. Remember that you're a key part of this conversation that we're about to have, so post your questions or comments, and as you do, you'll be entered to win some great prizes. I'm an Army spouse, and we accepted the invitation from Uncle Sam to move 27 times in 39 years. 7 of those school-age moves were for our daughter. 5 of them were for our son. And 2 of them forced Dad into a geographic bachelor position in order to ensure quality education for those children. And this rucksack came along with us each time. It was loaded with life's essentials, important documents, and special items that had great meaning to our family, in addition to all that Dad had to cram into it to make his professional move. I'm part of a great team with Military Families for High Standards, a group of dedicated spouses and family members, active and reserve, retired, National Guard, from all the services combined, working to make transition easier for military children. We search for consistent high standards at every installation gate. We would look for assessments that are measurable and comparable that help you to determine your choice of schools for your child. This wonderful team put together a Military Family's Guide to School Transition, which we are debuting today here with you and for you. You may download it to follow me, but it will be the core of this presentation on screen. It is our hope that this guide, this checklist, will empower you to be your child's best advocate for their educational future as we continue to work to bring each state in line with the other, creating a powerful network of curricula and programs for your children. Let's load up your rucksack now with the valuable elements of this great checklist. The first thing you ought to put in this checkbook is how you have organized your school records. Before the Packards come and take away any access you might have to paperwork you haven't safeguarded, be sure to pull out your child's most recent report card, certificates, a copy of their birth certificate, their immunization records, and any test results. You can carry those forward with you to the new school until your official transcripts arrive and be able to begin a conversation about your child with that administration to see what can be provided for your child once they enroll. Next, compile school contact information. This is especially important if your child is in middle school or high school. Keep a listing of their coaches and their email addresses or their mailing addresses, their club advisors, those with whom they have served in special groups at the school or in parish or church organizations or even with scouting. This is especially important when you're looking to make application for college, that you don't lose track of those who knew your child so well in this last place that they were able to nurture and grow. Familiarize yourself with the school curriculum that your child has just experienced. Take a moment to look at the textbooks used. Every district has a different choice of curriculum, which creates a different line of textbooks used for each subject in each course area. But if you know what was used to educate your child in this last setting, you can begin a conversation at the new school on what they were exposed to, Those administrators know what each curriculum involves, so they'll have a very good sense of what your child learned and how that academic strategy was established in order to better align you with choices for coursework and study in this new school. Next, put in that rucksack your child's interests. Know what your child is involved with and what they like to become more educated about. Perhaps it's Scouts. Perhaps they have hobbies that are of special interest to them. Maybe they're athletes. You need to know their level of activity, their level of involvement. Were they an officer in a club? Were they a captain? Did they play junior varsity or varsity sports? Were they involved in National Honor Society or beta clubs? Knowing what your child's involved in rounds out the picture for the new school administration, lets them get to know that child better, and at the same time, gives you the opportunity to search out ways that your child can continue their growth and their interest, whether in music, government, athletics, or whatever it is that piques the interest of your little learner. A very, very important piece to put in your rucksack is this next one that reminds you to connect with school liaisons. Every military installation has a school liaison program, and it reaches out to schools outside the gate that often have school liaisons embedded with them. These folks are your source for the very best educational information in your community. Take advantage of that and take advantage of them. They know what's available at different schools in different settings. And while they can't direct you to what school you ought to be enrolled in, they can certainly lay a pathway for you that helps you to decide which setting will be the very best for the kind of learner you have, the kind of family that you are, and the kind of curriculum and programs that you are looking for. The next opportunity to stick in that rucksack is to get to know your school board. And you can do this well in advance of your move because the internet provides so much information from this source. Your school board has a website, and on it they post a wealth of information. Current articles that have been published in the local newspapers are available there. Test results from across the district. Programs that they highlight as successful or that they have decided to close down due to lack of interest. Key issues that are coming to the forefront that are of challenge or interest are available on those websites, and you can become better aware of what your district is involved with and what it provides from doing this. Additionally, many boards have seats on their board for military members, and there may be a military liaison or a military school board member who's the perfect contact for you in getting to know that district better. Perhaps you are the parent of a special needs child, so it's important that your rucksack contains the reminder to meet with your school's special needs director. Your new school site can't accept the IEP from the school your child was just enrolled in, but providing that IEP to them lets them know what it is that you anticipate as being important for service to your child, how your child performed in that last school setting, and what methodology might not have worked well with them. It's a great groundwork, a perfect framework to spring forward from and to help them formulate a new IEP that takes the programs and services available for where you're moving to continue that child's best education program. Additionally, military installations offer EFMP, Exceptional Educational Family Member Programs. Be sure to link with them for what services are available on your installation or in military clinics available to you. Pairing those two up together will be a great duo to help you in establishing a great opportunity for your exceptional learner. Take advantage of the plethora of military parent resources. Our guide list provides 9 additional organizations beyond Military Families for High Standards who endorse this guide, who endorse this checklist. They're all involved with military children and involved in the education of those military children. You can turn to any of them or all of them for a deeper understanding of what educational needs are apparent to them and which they're involved with, the information that they have to help you navigate this next transition or move, and they're more than willing to answer your questions or direct you with great comment. Get familiar with the Interstate Compact. I want to read to you directly from the checklist for this one because it is very, very important, but sometimes the verbiage can be a little bit challenging or almost frightening. So I want to read to you what's stated there and then talk to you a little bit more on it. The Interstate Compact on Educational Opportunity for Military Children addresses key educational transition issues encountered by military families, including enrollment, placement, attendance, eligibility, and graduation. While the compact levels the playing field for students, it's not intended to impact curriculum or local standards of education. To resolve compact-related concerns, families should first work with the school and military school liaison or contact their state commissioner if additional assistance is recommended, and the website is provided right on the guide. Years and years of work by the organizations at the bottom of our guide produced the Interstate Compact to ease the transition for military children from post to post and installation to installation. They are the ones who provide the legislative materials that allow military children to get answers to questions like coursework that is acceptable from one state to another, eligibility requirements for athletics or honor societies. So they are a valuable resource to you and to all military children, and you should turn to them once you've established a good understanding of how important they are and allow them to assist you should you meet roadblocks that our guide list or those who've endorsed it with us cannot help you to overcome. Your rucksack is a little bit heavier now, but it's filled with important directions that can lead to a smoother transition. You know, military children move 6 to 9 times in their school-age careers. So using this checklist can help you make the best of every one of those transitions. Share this with your friends, folks in your unit. Make it accessible to your military community, asking military libraries and chapels to perhaps post it. It can be posted in health clinics or in on-site post offices, of course with their permission, shared anywhere and everywhere, physically or online, to offer recommendations to all who can benefit from it, and from the recommendations that it makes. I will gladly take any questions or comments you might want to share on school transitioning now, but do remember that spouses before you have probably lived at installations that you're being invited to move into. Use those contacts, those friends, to answer many of the questions that you might have, but remember that facts are very important in making decisions, so couple those friendships and the information that they share with you with good quality factual information to help you make your decision. I do have a question here from our audience that I'd like to share with you and see what we can do perhaps in the form of an answer. What do families at USEREC do if not near a military installation? USEREC involves our families in overseas settings. And if they're not involved at an installation, they are at a distance from all those familiar uniform services that we are so accustomed to. Using the internet is a way that you can still connect with installations using email contact with the garrison commander with the Army Community Services, if it's an Army installation, with the education liaison officer that's embedded on that installation, so that you can still get the kind of information that you need, though it won't be in a face-to-face contact unless they give you the opportunity of, say, of a Facebook kind of opportunity with them. But reaching out to them that way gives you the factual format on information, should be able to answer a quality response to many of your questions. And then the last comment that I made in terms of referring to spouses who share that same situation as you can be helpful as well, because those that have been there have already figured out ways to get information that they need, and they may have many more good answers for you in terms of seeking out that information. So that's very important that you're willing to search out information, and when it's not right there to walk inside the gate for, that can make it very challenging, but it doesn't keep you from having advantage to it. So make point to search it out that way. As you're gearing up to perhaps try to figure out a couple few or additional questions, I want to let you know that despite the challenges that our military children face in moving time and again, discovering new schools, new curriculums, different programs, navigating different ways of doing business, somehow wonderfully our military children always land on their 2 feet, strongly and focused toward a career or a university or college experience. It's not that we think we are producing inferior students or students with weak talents or weak success stories. Instead, Military Families for High Standards is working very hard to streamline the transition so that it isn't so challenging for the student or for the family to make these moves and make these transitions. If we can draw states in line together to guarantee our families high quality standards that they want, that they respect, and that they deserve, and additionally give them ways to view the assessments that districts make available so that they can compare results in ways that make sense, then we know that we will further support military students in their great educational adventure. Your child has every opportunity to do their best and become their best. We hope that this checklist and the guidance that it provides makes it a little bit easier for you to support them in this process. And we hope too that we can find ways to align you with our endeavor, and perhaps from your experiences, you'll want to step forward and become part of our team effort so that students that follow you and your family can have better opportunity or better solutions for some of the challenges that we face on a regular basis. So is your rucksack ready? Is it packed full? I hope we've provided you with some really valuable information. Please ask any questions about something we might have missed or something that you think is important to put in that rucksack. The detail on the checklist may already describe that information. I just look to provide you with an overall view of what's available to you there. But we are always open for your recommendations, your stories, your concerns, and those situations that you highlight as things that are very important for us to keep at the forefront of our minds as we work to resolve these issues. Please don't forget that those of you who enter your questions are entered in the drawing for a free gift if there's nothing else that entices you to ask a question, and that these live source series continue on the Thursdays in June to provide you with a well-rounded preparation for your military move. Thank you so much for your involvement this morning. I really appreciate it, and take the time to share that checklist document with whomever you think might find it of value. it has all kinds of opportunity